We just learned a little bit about the history of food trucks, what you can expect to make on your best day, and if this is a 9-to-5 job or not. Some of the things we also learned are things you need to know to get started, like keys to success, powerful strategies, and opinions from food truck owners on how saturated the market is or isn't. Now we have to find out the price and costs of getting started, and how you should price your food. Then the owners will actually discuss acquiring the truck, if you should rent or buy. If you do buy, should you buy from Craigslist or eBay, or a food manufacturer? We're going to talk to a food truck manufacturer to find out the questions you should know before you customize. But first, prices and costs to get started.
Biggest mistake that I've made so far starting a food truck business is assuming I was gonna make a whole lot of money from the gate. You know, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time. You have to be patient, you know, and that was my biggest mistake, thinking I was coming into something and I was gonna make a whole lot of money. That's not the case. Not starting off, at least.
For the people who wanted to start in this business, the food truck business, there's a lot of cost. So some of the initial costs is, first of all, the purchase of a truck if you're gonna buy, or the lease of the truck, right? Then you gotta look at the cost of permits and licensing. For sure, you need a little bit of capital to actually get stock. Yeah, a lot of people don't, think that that's important. But when I first started, getting stock was a big deal because I had to spend about $900. But that's not everything, right? Then I had to spend another like $1,500 for little things like spatulas, right? Mm-hmm. The utensils you give out, all those little things, and you can't just go and buy, like, say, all right, I'm gonna go sell for 50 people, so I'm gonna get a 50 pack. They sell them in thousands. So now, you're stuck with a lot of this stuff that you gotta move, right? So, it all depends on how you wanna run it, either doing the leasing opportunities or the purchase.
Those are the costs for getting started. But what are the daily costs?
My advice to somebody who want to start a food truck, don't think about the money first. The money is going to be there, but you have to pay your employees, you have to pay for your food, you have to pay for your just everything, So at the end of the day, you left with like so much money to put in your own pocket. And then I find myself, say I made $1,500 in one day. That $1,500, I'm probably only going to take home $300 to $400, maybe, I have to put that money back and to go to the grocery store the next day and buy more food, for my next event, So my biggest advice for the next person trying to do a food truck, please don't think about the money. That's going to come later, just build your fan base. And then, hey, everything, sky's the limit,
I could be wrong, but I know mine, when I get off of that lot there, when I go out every day with that truck, it's costing me $500. Yeah, $500 minimum. You guys know as much as I know. In order for me to take a truck out, when I leave out of that commissary, I want to say it's costing me $500 just to drive off the lot.
What brings that price
Propane,
down?
gasoline, your labor, your taxes, unemployment. You got to pay for your insurance on the truck. You got to pay for the leasing of the truck. You put everything together, guys.
Yeah. Those are some of the daily costs.
23%, so I base it off of my food costs. 23%.
We're around 25, but I think we wanted to look at customer perception too.